Hi, and welcome to this new video. Today I want to talk about chord shapes. So this will be a lot more theoretic lesson rather than a sound design lesson or looping and stuff like that. I think it's very important to know a little bit how chord shapes can work into the ESP, especially in the chromatic mode. Now I have this sound here, just to use that as an example. Let's put on poly mode so we can play chords. Now, I don't want to give you an in-depth lesson on music theory, so how to build your scales and how to build in-depth your chords. This is not the purpose of this video, but I want to give you some advice on using your shape and how to build the basic chord shapes. Now this sample is tuned in C, so this is a C, and as you know, a chord is built by 3 notes, which is the root, the 3rd degree, and the 5th degree. Now, in order to understand a little bit, if you are not used to know the music theory, here we are in the major scale, and the 1st degree is the root, so this is C, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and the 8th, the 1 octave above. And this is the major scale. In order to achieve a major chord, we have to use the root note, the major 3rd, and the 5th, which is the root, 3rd, 5th. In this case, those notes are C, E, and G. This is a major chord. And this is the shape of a major chord. You can use the same shape and this will be always a major chord. A minor chord is built with the root, the minor 3rd, and 5th. So the different notes is only the 3rd. And this is a major 3rd, and this is a minor 3rd. So this is a minor chord. The difference is only this note here, which is shifted down by 1 semitone from major to minor. And those are 2 of the basic shapes you can have into the ESP. Let's talk about the major scale. Every scale has 7 degrees, and every of these degrees can generate a chord. This process is called harmonization of the major scale. In this case, the major scale, but you can harmonize every kind of scale. Minor scale, you can harmonize the modes, also Phrygian, Locrian, and so on. By using the harmonization, we can build a chord on every single degree. And the harmonization of the major scale is the 1st degree is major, generate a major chord. The 2nd and the 3rd degree are generating a minor chord. The 4th and the 5th degree are generating a major chord. The 6th degree is generating a minor chord, and the 7th degree is generating a diminished chord. So this is major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, and again major 1 octave above. Now, if we follow this principle, we can build all the 7 chords, and they look like this. They have, of course, different shapes. The first shapes on the major scale, we are talking about the major scale because the minor is slightly different. This is the C major. Now, let's go on the 2nd note, which is D, and by following the same principle, root, 3rd, and the 5th, and the 3rd is minor or major in regard of the degree. We are on the 2nd degree, so it's minor, and the 2nd degree minor is D. And this is the shape. And the same shape, major, will be like this. This is the first. Major, C major, D minor. The third degree is minor, E minor. The fourth degree is major, F major. The fifth degree is major, which is G. The sixth degree is A minor, which, by the way, is the relative minor of the key of C major. But we have a problem, so we have the root, the fourth, but we can't reach the fifth. We have to shift and reach the fifth here. It's not that convenient, so we can use an inversion. An inversion means to substitute the bass note, which is in this case is always the root note of the chord, with another of the 2 degrees. In this case, we can use the fifth on the bass, and the fifth is this note here, the E. So we don't need to shift. And the same goes for the B, which is diminished, and in normal case will be like this. This is the shape, but we can use the fifth on the bass. We reach the shape here. Now, by doing a little recap, major, the first degree, second is minor, third is minor, the fourth is major, the fifth is major, the sixth is minor, and we have to use a different chord shape with the fifth on the bass. The 7th degree is diminished, and again with the fifth on the bass, with the flat fifth. Because the diminished chord is built by 2 minor third, one on top of another, the first and the second, which generates a flat fifth, and this is the precise quality of a diminished chord. Now, this is basic shapes, so we have this, we have this, and we have this, and or this. We have this, which is diminished. If we want to substitute some note and use inversion, we can do that. This is an inverted diminished chord. This is an inverted minor chord. Now, these are all basic shapes, and we can add notes here and there to build a more complex chord, like 7th chord or 9th chord. Let's take this C major chord. A 7th chord is built by the triad plus the note that is on the 7th degree. In this case, is B. And this is a C major 7. Of course, we can do the same for the minor chord, but it changes the 3rd and the 7th degree, which is in the case of the C minor 7th is a B flat. So we are adding the 7th note of the scale, and you can use the scale mode to have a reference on which note you have to add for your chord. The 7th on the major scale and the 7th on the minor scale. I tend to use the chromatic mode because I can use also notes that are not in the scale and sometimes are very, very useful. Suspended chords are really easy because they aren't either major or minor, because we are substituting the third degree with the second degree or the fourth degree. And this generates a suspended second chord or suspended fourth chord. They are useful because leave you this sense of suspension. This is a C major chord, and if you want to build a suspended second chord, we have to substitute the third degree with the second degree, which is this note here. This is a suspended second. And the same goes for the fourth. This is suspended fourth. They are passing chords, so you can use this kind of chord to smooth the transition from one chord to another, or to spice up a little bit your chord progression. Suspended fourth. Suspended second. You can use to move inside the same chord. These are all harmonic colors and tonal colors. This is up to you. The last chord I want to show you is a ninth chord, which is a major chord in this case, with the ninth. And the ninth is simply the second degree, one octave above this note here. So this is beautiful. You can add the seventh, and in a major chord, if you raise down by a semitone the 7th degree, you obtain in this case, a C7 chord, which is a dominant chord, which, by the way, has a different function of the 7th chord, and it's built usually not on the roof, but on the 5th degree. So I hope this little lesson on how to build chord shapes into the ESP will be useful for you. This can be a little confusing with the chromatic mode. Maybe at first you can use the scale mode, different scale modes. Let's use maybe at first major and minor, because Dorian and Frisian are two of the modes of the major scales. But this is a totally different topic, and it has to do with the scales that are generated on every degree. And then when you have your scale in your mind, you can use also different notes build different and more complex chord progression or melody or harmonic lines into your ESP. If you want to play chords, you have to connect a MIDI keyboard. Is way more convenient. But if you want just to resample the single chords and then you want to mangle in sequencer and stuff like that, This is a very convenient way, and if you know these basic shapes, you can really build whatever chord you want into the ESP. And that's it. If you need samples or mastering and mixing services, just check my Gumroad page, and I hope this video will be useful for you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye!